Do you have a course still in Academy now?
Yeah, we have a course, but I don't want to speak about it because I'm not trying to peddle dreams. I want to talk about the real trading.
Why do you need a course if you're managing that amount of capital? I understand if someone's managing maybe a couple million or 100,000, if you're managing 150 million, what's the point, like, in terms of having a course or an academy? Welcome everyone to the Words of Rizdom Podcast. We are back once again and we're still in Dubai. We're on tour and this is the podcast where we like to talk about a trader's journey and what they've gone through, the ups and more importantly the downs as well. And we are joined by Dapo Willis. Thank you for being here today.
Thank you, man. It's a pleasure to be here.
It's my pleasure, honestly. And
huge fan.
No, I appreciate it. But again, apologies for the delay.
No, that's fine.
You're waiting. But yeah, how we like to start is just to get to know a bit about you, your journey, how you got to where you are today. And then from there, we just take it from there.
Yeah, sure. So I have key of my journey. Oh my God. I have to remember. It's a dark place.
That's what we like.
It's a dark place, man. I get this question all the time. How did it kick off? Well, the honest truth is, I was about 6. I just finished high school and I was looking for, I had this cousin at the time. He was looking for a job. So I was back in Nigeria at the time. He was looking for a job and the job market wasn't just happening for him. And I remember he used to wake up very early in the morning. He would pray and blase, like he really needed a job. And I just finished high school and I said, well, he was done with uni. He's looking for a job. So I said to myself, I'm like, yo, I don't want to have to finish uni and be like this guy, because he used to wake me up at 2:30 a.m. He'd be praying. I'm like, this guy must be really stressed. So I said to myself, I need to take things into my own hands. I need to start working from now to ensure that when I get to his age, I'm not in this situation, because he's really stressed and I don't want to be that. So one day I was watching TV. I was watching a movie with my uncle. I just sat on the dining table. I was eating probably Cocoa Pops or something. I'm 17 at the time and I'm wearing my vest and my briefs. I'm just chilling. I'm watching TV and I notice this movie is quite interesting. And I look over and the guy in the movie is living in Manhattan and driving a nice car. And I'm like, yo, uncle, what movie is that? And he goes, she presses the information button. Like, it's a movie called Wall Street and Money Never Sleeps. I'm like, interesting. So I started watching the movie, and it was obviously the Michael Doug, it's not new, but it's the more recent one, because there are two of them. This one,
there's the older version.
It's the newer version that came out after the financial crisis. So the crisis was in 2008. The movie came out in 2010. So it's 2011. So when I tell people I've been trading for 12 plus years, they're like, oh, you sure? See now. So, and I'm watching the guy and I'm liking everything he's doing. And in the movie, so it's Michael Douglas and Shia LaBeouf, right? And Shia gets his bonus check for $1.4 million US. If you go back to the movie, you see it. He was handed the check by his mentor at the time. Thinking, yo, what's going on here, So I start to research, I'm like, yo, uncle, please, what job do you think this guy does?
Yeah.
They're like, he's a stockbroker. I'm like, okay. So I quickly grab what I could grab. Then we're using Blackberries, right? So I grab my Blackberry and I'm checking stockbroker and all that. I'm like, I think I found what I really want to do. Okay. You get what I mean? So that was just kind of embedded in my head. So that was my first exposure to the market, right?
Yeah.
Not exposure, that was what I first heard about financial trading. So from there, as a little kid who is, first of all, doesn't want to end up like his cousin who's looking for a job. Secondly, I had the whole entrepreneurship vibe boiling and burning in me. So I was like, okay, let's go. So I think my auntie comes back from work the next day and I'm just talking about it and she's like, oh yeah, you could, if you check the back of the newspapers, you can see the share prices, the close of market share prices. I'm like, really? We have that here? She's like, yeah. So I check it, and there you go. I see all the share prices, and I'm like, yo, So you're trying to say? She says, all you need to do is be able to predict. If you can predict where the market is going to go, you can make a lot of money. And then it also occurs to me that I think I must have seen. So obviously, this is 12 years ago. In West Africa, everything is kind of paper trailed. So you have dividends, you have share certificates. So my grandfather, who was loved him to death, may so rest in peace. He used to trade stocks, but he was like a passive investor, but he just used to buy stocks and just keep them. You know, so I remember like, oh, yo, we have, and you know, when the dividends come, maybe you've got like 12 different companies. So you got Vodafone, you got BP, you got all these companies lying around. So I remember there were so many of them. So I said, okay, so I've got I said, like, yo, auntie, my granddad's got this. This time he's passed away for maybe like 5 years now. I've got this. She's like, yo, go get it. So she says, all you need to do is look at the value of shares, meaning what's the total value in terms of units, and multiply it by the share price, and you can get the value of the certificates you're holding. Boy, I get my calculator out. I'm sat on the dining table. I don't sleep till like 3:30. I'm calculating the price. Obviously, I can't disclose how much it was, but I was like, shh. So I spoke to my granny, because my granddad's gone, and my granny's son, who's my uncle, was in charge of the estate and all that. So I spoke to him about it, and he was like, yeah, because my grandfather did leave like properties. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So everybody was more focused on that.
Okay.
Do you get what I'm saying? Like, it was more focused on that. So I did the math, and obviously I didn't tell them the total amount. I'm like, yo, there's money here. So my grandma was like, talk to your uncle. He's in charge of the estate now. So I speak to him, and he's like, yeah, whatever. Just, I'm like, you guys don't know you're lying on the gold mine here, because literally at the corner of her room, you've got a stack of newspapers with the dividends and everything. Like, it's just there. They have no idea. So I pick it up, and to fast forward the whole story, I remember my mom calling me whilst I was in high school. Now, this part of the story is very important because, you know, everybody has their own different entrances to the market, but, you know, mine is a bit weird. But I remember my mom calling me January of every year to tell me, confirm because there's something called a kiddies account. I wasn't 18 yet. So
Okay, yeah.
So I remember like my mom always calling me to ask me, what's your bank account number, the kiddies one? I've got dividends in your name. I'm like, how does that happen? So, yo, daddy bought you shares. Do you get what I mean? Like, I'm like, really? It's like, so she mentioned the bank. So then it occurred to me, like I actually have some in my name. So I go check, and I do the math on the newspaper, and I check, it's worth about $2,000 US. I'm like, yo, like, now I got bread. Do you get what I mean? Like, now I have some leverage. Obviously, I wasn't 18 yet, or did I just turn 18? But you have to remember, I wasn't there when the shares were bought. I needed a signature. He was dead. He was gone. So I'm thinking, like, how can I liquidate this stuff? I needed money to get into the game. And I ring on my mom. I'm like, yo, mom, were you there when the shares were bought? She was like, yeah, I was there. I actually signed. He asked me to sign because obviously I'm your mom. So we signed it off, and it took me 8 whole months, but I got my $2,000 out. And I was still trying to, you know, because I got introduced into the market by trading shares. So I was still looking to trade shares. But when you're from West Africa, Nigeria to be precise, they don't really have the best reputations on the international world. So you're trying to open a US stockbroking account, and it's not happening. They don't want to. Your country is not even listed there. I don't know where you're from originally. From the UK.
Originally Pakistan, but I live.
You get what I mean? Coming from a country that's not exactly in the West, it's just a bit difficult trying to get some things. So it wasn't there. So I was frustrated. I got $2,000 now. Can't trade it. I want it because all I've been listening to is Bloomberg. After watching Shia LaBeouf on TV, I'm watching Bloomberg. Literally, I know all the people. I know Matt Miller. I know Trish Reagan. I know the entire squad. So all I know is Exxon, Boeing. You know, those shares. Like, couldn't open a trading account. I went down on Twitter, and then one guy, I think I'm just tweeting about it, and the guy DMs me. The funny thing is, the guy's now a student of mine.
Oh,
wow. But yeah, so he's like, have you tried Forex? I'm like, currencies, because at the time, when it comes to shares, I felt like it was a lot easier to interpret the price, because this is a glass. If the glass is worth $2, you know this is this. But when you're telling me I have to calculate what the euro price is and what the US dollar price is, and then it just wasn't making sense. So it was like, yo, go on a website called Baby Pips, read it. And by the time I tried to trade some shares, it wasn't happening. I mean, you should, like, you know, let's go for it. So I read up Baby Pips. I'm like, And then I tried to open a Forex trading account. And you know these brokers, they love your money, boy. Once I just put my name, my email address, and my phone number, oof. Hello, my name, you know Dapo Willis. Oh, my name is man. I'm calling from London. Oh, you know, this should open the account, blah, blah, blah. Can you get, so how much do you think you can deposit? I'm like, I don't really know much. I'm like, I got 2K. Like, you got 2 grand. Do you have any experience? Like, I'm like, no, they love it when you don't have any experience. You know, so, so put the money in, and you always know how that story goes. You know, you put your first capital in, you don't really have that much experience. As a matter of fact, you don't even want to finish baby pips. You just jump into the market. You demo a bit, but it's not fun. When you got money lying around and you start thinking of all the things you can do. And at the time, Instagram had just launched. Maybe Instagram had like 4 million users. Okay, like 10 million users worldwide. Instagram's got over 1 billion right now, right?
Yeah.
I'm telling you how small it was. They just launched, right? And then it's the filter error, and I'm just seeing some kids from Malaysia. I'm like, yo, I want to make some good money. So I put the money in, and long story short, the money was gone in maybe 10, 12 days.
Wow.
It was gone, and that's exactly when your learning really starts. When you blow your first trading account is when the learning actually really starts. So that's how I pretty much got into the market.
How was that for you though? Because obviously you waited 8 months plus to get a hold of this capital, and then to obviously lose it in 10 to 12 days. You know, what was your mindset like obviously after doing that?
I tell you what, the day I lost so part of the capital I actually used it to, renovate my laptop. Change the battery, all that. 'Cause I'm a kid, right? Worked on my laptop, so I probably had maybe like 1,800. So I blew 1,000. The day I blew my last $800, right? It was NFP. I went straight upstairs. So I'm in the living room, right? I'm telling everybody like, yo, listen, I'm taking you out for after NFP by 1:30. Listen, we're rich. I'm taking you out for dinner. I told my mom, you don't have to worry about anything. You know, I'm taking everybody out and all that. And then NFP comes, and you know how the story goes. There used to be this NFP strategy back in the day, which doesn't really work. I mean, you know now that it doesn't work. So $800, and I look at my computer. I'm down back to maybe $80. Because obviously you got high lot, you got the sizable amount of lots open, and then the market just whipsaws you out, and then brokers just, MT4, gone. I went upstairs, I didn't say a word to anybody, and I just went to take a nap. I went to sleep, and my auntie comes. So my granny sends my auntie to come check on me like 2 hours later to ask me what's going on. Like, we don't even want to go for the dinner. Like, is he okay? Is he okay?
Yeah.
I wasn't okay. I was sweating in the room, and I was absolutely devastated. I was devastated. But I was like, well, one thing I'll tell you for free. One thing that kept me going was my age. I was so young, So I just said to myself, I'm like, yo, listen, I haven't even gotten into uni yet. This is when I was trying to get into uni. I was trying to apply into University of Hertfordshire. I was trying to invest in Manchester, Coventry University, and stuff like that. So I knew I had time, and I started trading at a point, or rather at a time in my life where I wasn't required to make an income. So there wasn't that much pressure on me, but I still obviously there's peer pressure, but there wasn't any like real life pressure pressuring me. But it was horrendous. It was horrible. But the best thing that happened to me, that blown account. So now I started watching YouTubes. Now you start so you blow your first account. Now you go back to baby pips. You want to start learning, and then you start looking for forums. This is when the strategy kicks off. You start demoing and back testing, and now you want to finish all the chapters on baby pips. Now you want to speak to everybody. You want to know what exactly is going on. What exactly am I doing wrong? But mind you, these times people are posting screenshots on Instagram. It's the biggest killer in the game, screenshots. So I was like, yo, God. I remember one day I cried. Oh, bro, that's what I said. It's a dark place. I cried in my room. I said, God, if you help me with this, I swear I won't forget you. I promise you, I won't forget you if you help me out with this, And obviously he didn't help me at that time. I needed to go through a process definitely had to go through a process.
So like, was your family like not well off, but they built businesses and stuff like this?
So my family, in my family entirely, right? Would I say they were well off? We're comfortable. We're comfortable, virtue of the fact that I had quite influential grandfather, who's my mom's dad. So my mom had me when she was really young. So I grew up with my grandparents and my mom's siblings as well. So my grandfather was a top guy, right? So when I was born, he was like at the peak of his career, right? He was a politician, government official in West Africa. So it's a big deal, right? So, you know, I was born at his peak of his career. So once I was introduced into the world, you know, I saw him, because when you're at your peak, you know how it is, right? Everybody wants to know you, everybody wants to talk to you.
Yeah.
I literally wake up from sleep and seeing military generals. Hey, I was seeing, so from very early on, I have the bug in me, like, I'm going to be a great man. I like it. This guy doesn't even open the door himself. Like, I came here, I didn't open the door myself. I got a chauffeur outside. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, so all these things are embedded in me. So I just needed like a vehicle to, but the rest of my family, obviously, when you got one person who has cracked the code, right? Everybody just kind of like feeds off of that and just, you know, stuff like that. But yeah, I think they handled the rest of the journey pretty well. After he left us, we were able to remain relatively comfortable. I'm not going to lie that I have any grass to grey story. I went to a really good high school in Lagos, Nigeria. They could afford for me to go to the UK. I was paying international fees, which is, you know,
It's much higher, yeah.
It's high, and you have to pay cash and accommodation. So you'll probably spend like 22 bags a year just to keep me there. So if you can bring out 22 bags a year and still be able to feed yourself as a parent, then I'll consider them quite comfortable. But were we extremely rich? No, we were comfortable enough for me to not lack anything. I had just enough.
Yeah.
I had what I needed. I didn't have what I wanted.
Yeah. So you still had that desire.
Yeah. So I think it was the perfect environment for me to grow up, because you can see the money, but you can't really touch it per se. You can see the assets. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can see the assets, but you can't really touch it per se. So yeah, that's
I think
pretty much it.
observing your grandfather in that stage as well, like you were able to see what high level or high value man and what that can do in your life, and the respect it commands and the lifestyle that it can bring.
Yeah.
So by observing that growing up, that's like sort of shape your mindset. As you said, entrepreneurial sort of fire and vision was there.
Absolutely. Like, the operating system was embedded in me from very early, and he was a kind man. Maybe I'm biased. Other people probably have it, but to me, like, he was, because I had a lot of people in the house. Like, do you know what I mean? So like, for there to be a lot of people in your house, you have to be the kind man, right? So, but people, like, he was just a guy. And I just liked it, like, and I was his favorite, right? I was like his only grandchild at the time, and he just loved me. Like, we went everywhere, all the meetings. So I was privileged to see a lot of these things, and by virtue of the fact of who he was, friends, the kind of the quality of people that, and this is why I'll probably get to this later, but I feel like the best education you can give your child as a father is to, first of all, be the guy, be that guy. And secondly, you want to take them around. Grant Cardone does this a lot. I like the fact that and if you look at his kids, if you watch his recent videos, those girls are like 13, 14, by that. I literally watched the video he dropped 4 or 5 days ago. His oldest daughter is so mature, because this guy, like, yo, you know what? I'm going to homeschool these kids. I'm not saying homeschool your kids, but he took them everywhere. He taught them how to, you know, to pick real estate, how to balance the books, how to know what's BS from what's real. You know, he's teaching them real how to talk. And when they see him on stage, he put them on stage early. You know, he's putting them on. By the time they're ready to go in the outside world, they will be unmatched. Unmatched. So I kind of had like that. But unfortunately, my own case, my grandfather left me when I was 12.
Okay.
He left me when I was 12, so I was now left to kind of like look for him. But luckily for me, I think I had, there was a male figure in I think my auntie's husband. Shout out to him. Real G though. He was young too, like he was probably like 29, 30, and he was doing bits. He was doing so much bits that my grandfather really liked him. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, he was like, my grandfather like, okay, cool, since now you're in the family, I think I can sign out. that kind of guy, right? So
Oh,
yeah, so I learned a lot from him as well. His name is Uncle Chibi K. Shout out to him.
no, it's great to hear. So like you're having those influences and being able to observe these people really helped you to
Yeah.
sort of shape your mindset, create that vision. So going into trading, then obviously you watch this film. That was like the first instance of coming across financial trading
Yeah.
in some sense, and then tracking it through the newspapers, understanding that you had shares in your name, getting the capital, then blowing the account, for example, and then going through the education side. Because at the time, I imagine, what year was that when you started to like really get into the FX side?
So it's 2011, 2012, not a lot. Most people are trying to charge you for baby pips information. People, this is the PDF era. This is the strategy that's in 7 bullet points. This is the indicator era. This is the 7 MA crossing over to 30 MA. This is the Bollinger Band era. This is the repaint indicator era. You know what I'm saying? Like, so you have to buy EAs. You know what I'm saying? So like, I had to go through all of that. Now, let me help you fast track a bit. I get to the UK. I'm in the UK, still don't really, my trading really isn't kicking it that well, right? I'm just playing around with everything, just trying to see what sticks. And then so don't forget, I'm watching a lot of Bloomberg when I'm in Nigeria, so I know all the financial hotspots. I know Wall Street. I've never been to Wall Street prior to when I got to the UK, but I know all the streets adjacent to the Wall Street street. I know where the bull is. I know what direction the bull is facing. So I also knew Canary Wharf that well as well. So whilst I was doing my A-levels, right, because obviously as an international student, you need to come and do something called your International Foundation Program. So whilst I was doing that, right, I'm in Coventry. So I got admission into Coventry. So I always used to take a train from Coventry to London because I felt like, okay, these boys who are making all this money, they seem to, because the capital for stock trading is Wall Street, which is in the US. The capital for foreign exchange is London. I'm like, okay, cool. So if that's the capital, I see the boys they always got Starbucks in their hands. I'm gonna go there. Maybe if I'm there, I might get lucky. And go there a couple of times, not exactly lucky, but one day I'm trading in Starbucks. Bro, this thing is actually so crazy because I used to buy Starbucks coffee because I used to look at them and they're drinking cappuccino. I'm like, all right, cool, let's try this cappuccino. Maybe this cappuccino is exactly why these trades are banging for these boys. And then I'm sat in the coffee shop. Before I tell you what my coffee shop story, this is actually what changed my trading. Were you around trading when there was a company called JA Wealth back in London?
No, I recognize the name though. Actually, I think I know who you're talking about.
Yeah,
It was
so
really early on in my journey.
good. So I'd probably been like 2-3 years in trading at that time. So this is how way back I go. So JA Wealth was popping on Instagram. This is why I see all these influencers, bro. This is not new. This is not new. We've seen this whole charade before, right? Anyways, back to what I was saying. So I'm in the coffee shop. JA Wealth, I think they're in Canary Wharf at the time. And then it's Goldman Sachs. Everybody's there, JP Morgan, all that. So I'm in the coffee shop one day and I'm just trading with my screen full of indicators. And this guy towering over me just comes. And he's like, hey, man. I'm like, yeah, you're right. He's like, what are you doing? I'm like, I'm trading. He's like, how's that going? I'm like, yeah, it's going all right. Traders, we never like to admit that something. Yeah, I was like, we never. I'm like, yeah, it's going all right. And then he goes, okay. He goes, with all those indicators I can see on your screen, are you sure your trading is going all right? Now he says this to me and my mind just goes spinning. I'm like, yo, this guy knows something I don't know. So I told him, I'm like, my trade is not going all right. I'm telling you, that was the best thing I did. If you're listening to this, you're watching this, don't be ashamed. I don't care if you've been in the game for 3 weeks, 6 weeks, 6 months, or 6 years. If it's not happening for you, feel free to seek help. Just for and I'd probably been 2.5 to 3 years in my journey at the time. So 17, I'm clocking almost 20. Now I'm just getting stressed. Getting stressed. So, and then he says to me, he says, with all those indicators on your screen, are you sure your trading's going all right? I'm like, yo, bro, my trading isn't going okay. Taro, the tall, 6'2", white, big dude, right? So I'm like, he's like, I can tell. I was like, what do you do? So he says he's also a trader. He trades for Goldman Sachs. And then I was like, I'm not going to lie. So I'm like, how do you guys make money from this game? He's like, you really want me? I can't tell you that. I was like, please. And I don't know. I left my computer right there on the spot. I mean, I followed him. We bought coffee together. I walked outside with him. He had no business speaking to me.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what I'm saying? Like, he was probably had deals to work on, order flow to handle. This guy had no business speaking to me. But he actually took the time to explain to me how things actually work. And so go read these reports on JP Morgan, on FX, what they think about the euro. Look at their projection and compare it to your projection. Does it correlate? No, it doesn't correlate because you're so focused on your little indicators on 15, 10, 30-minute time frame to even see the bigger picture as to what exactly is going on.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, We're like, yeah. So exchange numbers and all that. So long story short, that's exactly how I wouldn't say my mentor, but I think that was the guy that kind of like connected the dots for me.
Mm-hmm.
Got rid of all the indicators. That's why I'll be the first person to tell you. And not just because of him, but because of experience. I'll tell you, you put me anywhere. I'll tell you, indicators, they don't work.
Mm-hmm.
So he helped me simplify the whole process, just like an iPhone. Before the AirPods, we used to have the regular iPhone, like
the headphones. Yeah.
you know when it's all how we have it in our pockets, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you got Nike tracksuits is in there, you bring it out, it's all jumbled. Yeah, so that's exactly how my trading thing was going on in my brain at the time. So what he did was, when you untangle it,
Mm-hmm.
he helped me untangle it. And that's exactly where I started to see the world of trading a lot more clearly.
Mm-hmm.
So we used to have like mentorship sessions. I used to go from Coventry to London in 55 minutes if you have the fast Virgin train
Mm-hmm.
that doesn't stop in Rugby. We're in the UK, whereabouts in the UK?
Nottingham. So it's near Birmingham, yeah.
Birmingham,
So
exactly.
not far from Coventry.
So you got Birmingham, Coventry, Rugby, MK, London, right? It's 55 minutes, like if you don't stop in Rugby. So yeah, I used to jump on the train if I could on lunch breaks to see him, blah. So we moved over to Skype. There was no Zoom at the time.
Mm-hmm.
And he would share his screen with me, his personal computer, because he's not allowed to share any proprietary stuff. So yeah, that's exactly how I was able to declutter everything. And I started to see the market differently. He also, that's why I call him mentor. He also kind of gave me some funds to trade for him, £2,000 at the time. He said, okay, now you know how to see the market properly, go ahead and trade this. And I was able to make, I think, about £800 back for him. And yeah, he told me to take the £800 and he kept his 2K. And ever since then, I've been a rock star. Ever since then, yeah.
So what did he show you in terms of the charts? Like, what is it that had that shift?
So what the shift was higher time frames. So obviously I took what he taught me and I went and so I added experience. I tried and failed a lot of things. Added Fibonacci, tried to understand everything. So I've got a very, very, very airtight, concrete strategy. If you ask anybody on the internet, they will tell you yo, this guy. Do you understand? Like, I don't trade all the time, but when I strike, I'm striking gold, right? So for him coming into my life, it was more like get rid of the lower time frames. Okay, you don't want to be gambling. I know you see a lot of that on YouTube. It's interesting. It's fast paced. Trust me, those guys don't really make any money. And I really trust me. I work on the back end. I see the order flow. They ain't making money. The second thing was get rid of the indicators. Try and look towards more higher time frame, because with higher time frame, you're able to see things a lot more clearly. There's less noise. You're subject to less market manipulation, stuff like that. So I started to look in, and then he taught me how to use the Fibonacci tool. He told me the 50 and 61.8, just a little tip there. So, but then we kind of drifted apart because he was getting promoted, being big boy VP of the division, and I had to go do my own thing. But I think I had just enough. I think I just gotten just enough, key level. Also, he taught me how to identify the key level. So what now really helped me was I started to do my analysis, and then I'll compare it to JP Morgan's forecast for CHF JPY, Euro JPY, Euro USD. So I'll just compare it and see. So when I knew my trading was a bit solid was when my forecast was actually starting to match what the banks were forecasting. Do you get what I'm saying? The forecast, right? They send out those reports.
Yeah.
I don't know if they still do them.
I think they do, yeah.
They do, yeah. So that's when I knew, like, okay. And then I would get into trades, and then, you know, I could see the money. The money was starting to come, and I remember getting called to speak at Coventry University in front of, like, you know, every university has a trading society. Not every, but most do. Nottingham, I spoke at Nottingham. I've been a speaker at Nottingham University. Did you go to Nottingham?
I didn't go to university. No.
Oh, you didn't go uni? All right. I've been to Nottingham, actually. I spoke at the university. That's how good, like, in a very short period of time, you know, my trading got. So that was the game changer. Zooming out. Bro, just zooming out. Zooming out changed my trading. Just look at things from a bigger perspective and understand the patterns you like to trade. So there's certain patterns that I like to trade. I also prefer short selling than I like to buy. I like a bearish trend because I just feel like bearish trends tend to have a smoother movement and a smoother fall to it than bullish movements, because bullish movements can just be a bit sluggish and just... So my eyes like to see bearish. That's why I think AUD/USD has been one of my favorite pairs, because it's been bearish for a bit. The euro was bearish, dropped about, I think I called about 2,500 pip drop last year. Did that. GBP/USD. I mean, if you just check like my and I've ever since I joined YouTube, I've been documenting. I've got 45 episodes of Trader Talk. If you go back, that's what all of this might not make sense until you go to my YouTube channel and you really get, you know, a glimpse as to how exactly, you know, I'm able to trade, and I do massive projections, 2,000 pips, and I'm milking. I'm not just taking 2,000 pips from the market. I allow it drop. I watch the consolidation. I jump in again. I allow it drop. I watch the consolidation. So in 2,000 pips, I'm probably taking out 6K pips. And sometimes all I need is one pair.
Okay, so you did £800 is the profit you made with him.
Yeah.
But then £800, and now I saw on your Twitter is that 150 million under management, is it?
Yeah. So now we got 150 million US dollars under management.
So how did you go from 800 to the 150 million?
So from 800, you start trading 800, and I was able to grow that to about 3K. And the thing about trading, word gets out fast if you're good.
How did you go from like £800 obviously up to 150 million under management?
So
now?
I can't exactly remember the entire, you know, I can't give you word for word in terms of how much money, but I'll tell you, I remember roughly. So the £800, I was able to take that. So the £800 kind of like gave me the edge to, I was probably making like maybe 30% of that. I was a uni kid, so I was able to like take care of bits and bobs here and there. But then you have to understand that once your trading starts to make a bit of sense, word gets out fast. So I got kids, my friends, telling their parents, yo, dad, the money, the 50K, you're not doing anything with it. Like, I got a friend who can make money on. So that was like my first taste at account management. So I remember I got 40K, you know, people bringing 5K, 8K, you know, so obviously I had one account, I think I have maybe like £70,000. And this is what I keep telling people, right? When it comes to trading, you don't worry about the money. I know that's a bit ironic to say, but once you have your trading right, people are going to look for you. People will find you. So my friend, do you know, like my friend was bugging me every day. You haven't sent me the link to open the trading account. I see this thing you're doing. And obviously now, because I'm starting to make some money, £800 isn't a lot of money, but I've grown the £800, you know, probably like 1,516. You have, if you go to take £300, go to Top Man, go to Zara, then you can buy some fits, right? So they see me like this guy is, and obviously everybody's got a day job after uni. It's paying maybe like £6.50 an hour, but this guy is just in his room. His girl just comes, he's here, and he's just making phone calls from his room. He's calling the shots. I like what he's doing. So everybody starts asking me questions. Long story short, I was able to kind of like raise capital for my trading. Like I said, I didn't really need to even do much. People were offering me. I'm sure you probably, if you speak to anybody and just tell them, they ask you how's trading going, you're like, yeah, good. It's like, what's your return? You're like, maybe 40% a year. They're like, next question is, so are you trying to tell me if I give you 100K, you can give me 140K back? That's the next question they're going to ask you. And you're looking at it, you're like, yeah. But you don't really take them seriously until they be like, okay, give me your number. I can arrange for the money. And you're looking at this guy, you're like, who gave you 100K? Like, it's always people you never expect. So it's people around, like people calling their moms and their dads, like, yo. So that's exactly how I started trading some decent money. I made 200. So I had 111,000 pounds on the management, if I'm not mistaken, as a 2014 was my 2014 into 2015 was my best trading year. I wouldn't say ever, but what a year. Because this was during the era of quantitative easing. Janet Yellen was the Fed chairman at the time. The US dollar was just strengthening across board. So all you needed to do, I just did the projection, my normal projection, my 2,000 pip projection. I could see the euro was about to drop 2K pips. Bro, the drops were amazing. Literally just drop, pull back. So I was just stacking. So as at the end of maybe 2015, maybe towards when the market now eventually came into a range, I was sitting on a cool 250,000 pounds cash that I'd taken out from trading. I had losses inside of that. I'm not going to lie to you, because what then happened was, it's a lesson. Since this is words of wisdom, right? I might as well throw in the lessons while I'm at it. So I made a lot more than 250K. I'm giving the investors back their money. It was easy for me to, I was flipping accounts. It's easy because when the market is trending, and this is what happens to a lot of traders, they test their strategy on a demo account when the market is trending. But you fail to realize that once the market is done trending, we must go into a range. The market only trends 40% of the time. So that's why you backtest your strategy, you demo it, everything looks good, and then you get into the game and it's a different ball game. So everything is happening really nicely, and then bam, we hit like a major support. There was no support there at the time, but when the market wants to form support, there's nothing you can tell it. I was pushing for parity for Euro USD at the time. So we get into a range. My mind is just hell bent on, because once you've been short selling for a period of time, everything you're seeing, any little pullback you want to sell, and that range, the market went into a range and I lost a lot of money. But after everything was all said and done, I took a lot of lessons from that. I was able to understand things a lot better. I was able to identify trend reversals. How do you know when the market is done trending? It's a very important one, actually. So trend reversals, and stuff like that. So after all of that, I made a lot of money during the trend, gave a lot of it back. After everything was all said and done, I had 250,000 pounds to my name. I was 21 or 22 at the time. So 250K. And then the following year, when I had my internship, because I'm in university, my friends were trying to get internship gigs at HSBC, Nomura, Bank of America. Because I had a Nigerian passport at the time, when all of this was happening, it was very difficult for me to get an internship, a placement, right? So I just said to my friend at the time, he was my CFO, I said, yo, Chidi, it's a very Nigerian name. I'm like, yo, Chidi, man, I'm tired of applying to these banks, man. You know what I'm going to do? Call up Regus, the real estate firm, see if they got a floor for us in Canary Wharf. I want 1 Canada Square. I think J.A. Wealth used to be in 1 Canada Square as well. You know what I'm going to do? Since I can't obviously get in the front door, I'm going to get an entire floor, at least for the summer, because I can't have my friends who don't know as much about me, who don't know as much as I do about the financial markets being Canary Wharf, and I'm going to be in Coventry. Hell no, ain't that going to happen? And I have more money than half of them. Are you joking? Get us there. So we call up Regus, get an entire floor. We set things up, and then obviously we're like, okay, cool. The way I trade, I'm more like a medium-term swing trader, not long-term, medium-term swing trader. So, it takes time for the market to materialize and all that. So we needed something at the time to keep activity going in the office. So that's exactly when we decided to create the Trading Academy. Because whilst if I'm not trading, I need to be doing something. The office is just going to be boring. So we kicked off the Trading Academy, and then we started having people. You believe that people who were supposed to be there on an internship used to come to the office. Used to come to the office just to learn more about trading, because they're like, yo, I don't want to graduate from uni and then just be on, at best, 4 bags a month after tax. I don't know if they get that. You know what I mean? So yeah, 250K, sitting on 250K, and then Story continues. You want to hear more of it?
Yeah, of course.
All right, cool.
Let's take a break for a minute there, guys, because I want to tell you about our other sponsor, TradeZella. Now, TradeZella is something I only wished I had during my journey, because I would have saved myself so much time and, more importantly, money, because TradeZella is the greatest automated journaling software on the market. That's right, automated. All you have to do is connect your MetaTrader 4, MetaTrader 5, and it will pull up all of your data with all your statistics. It goes so in depth from obviously your losses, the days, the times. It allows you to bar replay so you can actually see that trade as if it was live. Absolutely incredible. It's an absolute game changer for everyone's trading journey. Without data, how can you make a statistical edge? I went through so much time without collecting data, without journaling. And why was that? Because most people find journaling very tedious, when in reality, why not have it automated and all done for you? All you do is just add the notes. As part of TradeZella, you also have playbooks. So if you have different entry drills, you can list them all out so you can categorize your trades. TradeZella is for everyone, whether you trade options, whether you trade Forex, whether you trade prop firms, or even just your own personal account. It is here to revolutionize the trading journey. As part of this special episode, TradeZella has agreed to do 20% off your yearly subscription with the code WOR. Level up your trading experience and, more importantly, your trading stats and data. This is your opportunity. 20% off. Link is in the description. Let's get back to the episode.
Guys, if you just joined us for the first time, this is Ritz Radio live from Dubai. It's a pleasure hanging out with you guys. So, at a very young age, made a lot of money from trading, trading what I call the top-down analysis. Okay, let me educate you guys on how I actually trade so that you guys get it. So what I go is I go on higher time frames and I anticipate thousands of pips into the future, and then I scale down to a lower time frame with a direction clear in my head from the higher time frame. Mm-hmm. So once I have a clear direction on the monthly and I plot my key levels on the weekly, I then come on the daily to look for the most immediate trend within the overall trend. I'll explain that. AUD/USD is heading south, right, on the daily time frame. On the monthly time frame, we can't trade on the monthly time frame because these candles are massive. Each candle is probably like 900, 1,000 pips. But I go there for clarity. Mm-hmm. Scale down to the weekly. Look left. You don't need any indicators for this. I just look left. Key levels. I plot my key levels out. And that's something I've mastered obviously over time. When the market has broken your levels, mm-hmm. and you've lost money a couple of times, trust me, you will know how to plot those levels, right? No indicator can ever do that for you. Plot the key levels on the weekly, scale down to the daily. Now, the daily must have the same trend as the monthly. Mm-hmm. If the daily is trending against the monthly, then we'll probably have a medium-term correction. I don't want to be buying when the monthly is telling me it's going south. Mm-hmm. I want the daily to flow in the direction as the monthly. So once I'm able to identify the daily trend, mm-hmm. which is bearish, and it's lining up with the monthly time frame, then I'm like, okay, I have a trend I can trade, because we can't trade the monthly trend. But the daily, if you expand the daily and come to a 4 hour, then you can see the pullbacks, Elliott waves. You can see the Fibonacci moves, because for every time we drop, we pull back into the 50 fib. So there you have trading opportunities. So I'm a lot more confident trading on the daily and the 4 hour time frame now that I know the clear direction is south. So all I'm thinking about now is selling opportunities. While most of the kids are on 30-minute 1 hour time frame, if they see a buy, they buy. If they see a sell, they sell. This is why it's neither here nor there. Mm-hmm. But I'm coming into a lower time frame with more clarity. Mm-hmm. This is the difference. So, and you have to understand that the market was trending. It's a lot easier when the market is trending. So I'm still on £250,000. And then I tried to dabble in other businesses. You know, one of my, I can't even classify him an uncle. You know, it's bugging me. I want to get into trading. So I fly to Nigeria because I ain't been back to Nigeria in a bit. So I'm a big boy now. It's £250,000 no matter where you are. That's bread. Mm-hmm. I fly back home. Because I didn't get to do before my internship, the year before that, I'd been to Nigeria to kind of like because I wanted to work on the stock. I wanted to get like experience, and I knew I couldn't get that in the UK. So I went home first year before I was due for my internship. So when I went back home, I was able to work in his firm, and he used to be a broker on the Nigerian Stock Exchange. So that's when I knew him. But he always used to see me trading, blah, 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 blah. Long story short, 250K on Canary Wharf. I'm a big boy now. I can see the entire river. I see choppers coming in, the Porsches. I'm getting an S-Class drop me off in the office every day. I'm living in Upminster, a big-ass house in Upminster. My neighbor is literally a footballer, chilling. Like, if you guys want pictures, I should probably send you all this stuff so you can put it as a B-roll, right? Chilling, living the Forex lifestyle. And then this guy calls me up and he's like, yo, Daps, how are you doing? I really like the way you worked at my firm, that just few 6 weeks you spent. Tell me about this Forex thing. I'm really interested. Like, I'm tired of this Nigerian market. It's a bit slow. What can I do? I said, Forex. You have to be, it's not like the stock market. You need to be really educated in this stuff. Like when people come to me and they ask me, I'm really interested in trading. Like, do you know, I'm not going to lie to you. This is the words of wisdom, right? I always tell people, are you doing this because you're passionate about trading or because you want to make some money? You have to be honest with me. If you're passionate about trading, fine, we'll talk about Forex. If you just want to make some money, then I might have to offer you some other options. So I always do that. I'm not here to peddle any dreams because I wasn't lured into the game by screenshots or dreams, but I saw the peer pressure was a lot, you know, and everybody facing that. It's even worse now because TikTok, Instagram, everybody, there's so many influencers, they're posting mansions and all that. The last thing I want to do, because you have to understand that before I became a big name in the industry, I was also the guy who was trying to download PDFs and attend seminars. I'm paying for courses. The market dealt with me. And I made a vow to myself, and like I said, I made a vow to God, and I said, like, listen, if I get a hang of this, I'm going to do things a bit differently, right? So the last thing I want to do is be trying to portray, or you know how people, they push everybody to a Telegram group and then they push signals on. I'm like, no, I'm not going to do it, because I was pushed into something like that, right? And it didn't work out. So I told him, like, your little uncle, you're going to have to be really educated in this space. This is something like you've never seen before. Maybe on the Nigerian stock market, you're used to, I don't know, getting tips as to what Cadbury, Coca-Cola is going to do, or Boeing and stuff like that. But here's the thing, you have to be technically sound on the charts. And it's taken me the better part of 5 years, for about 4 years, for me to get to this point. Are you ready for that? Yeah. Don't tell me. Look at you, young man. You're telling me. How can you know it and I don't know it? I said, okay, cool. Go ahead and create a trading account. This guy creates a trading account. He takes probably like 30K from investors. And I'm sleeping one day. So when the account... okay, I want to use this guy as a case study. I tell him, get educated. All right, cool, no problem. I send it to me. He doesn't even open the link to Baby Pips. Some of you guys probably read Baby Pips and are like, nah, at least I know, but nah. Are you well grounded in the game? You know yourself. Doesn't even bother. Starts trading. Beginner's luck kicks in. I had beginner's luck as well, because I used to trade NFP before I blew the 2K, the first 2K, right? This guy's trading, blah, blah, blah. I kid you not, yeah. He takes the money from 12.5, so he splits the account into two. 15K. He takes the money from 15K to like maybe 27K. This guy's on a roll. He goes to visit his friend. His friend tells him about a trade. He takes the trade, and then the trade goes south. Beginner's luck until you hit that first loss. So he's in two positions, maybe negative 1.5, negative 3K, and he starts to panic. Ritz, I'll tell you what, yeah, that was the end of that guy's trading. It went downhill from there. So literally, I was now on the receiving end of this after I told you to get some freaking education, right? This guy's calling me every day. I'm chilling with my girl. This guy's waking me up. Give me a trade. And mind you, I'm not that kind of trader. Like, I'm not the type who wakes up in the morning and I have signals to give out. I don't give signals out. Do you get what I mean? Like, I have trades I've been stacking for months. Do you get what I mean? Like, I can't save you right now. You have to, okay, relax. I can see Euro USD lining up, a GBP USD lining up. I think we could potential good 500 pips, but for a 500 pips setup to complete, it needs time. Do you get what I mean? this guy is just, and then I'm waking up every day. So that really messed with my head. You know, you won't believe what happened to me. I just woke up one day and I said, I'm done. I'm done with trading. And for every, what I say, space in time, Forex has its highs and its lows. What I mean is, there was the JA Wealth time. And then
So like JA Wealth, did you join them or something? Is that why you...
No, I didn't join them, but I used to see them on Instagram.
Okay.
Bro, they leave the... You didn't see what they were doing. Those kids were... Everything that's happening now, they did it ages ago. And the reason I'm saying that, I'm being transparent, like I'm not trying to promote them or anything. I couldn't care less, but I'm just telling you, I was the kid watching. That's what some kids are watching. Like they're watching us, the influencers, like what's happening. So I was once in their shoes as well. I'm just telling you my story, you know? And I told this guy, I said, yo, listen, you need to get some. He didn't listen to me, blows the account. And I say to myself, like, I'm done. Because, like I was saying, every space in time, there's a time when Forex is at its high, and there's a time nobody wants to hear about Forex. All of this is all a cycle. It comes and it goes. That's the truth. They'll get to a point where people are not really on it. They get to a point where everybody's on it. Like, everybody's really, really on it right now. And then when he lost his account was at the point where Forex was at its lowest point, and there was so much backlash about the industry, you know, and stuff like that. I was just like, yo, you know what? I said to my mom, I'm like, yo, mom, I'm not doing this again. I'm done. I'm not trading Forex again. Count me out. I've made some good money, sitting about maybe 200K plus. So I took my money, and then I decided to invest in other businesses. And as with every new thing you try to start off in life, I lost my entire trading capital because I decided to leave Forex and dabble into other things, and I went broke. 2016, I went broke. No.
What things were you trying?
2017, I went broke. I tried everything. Agro, bought a farm.
Was that back in Nigeria?
Yeah, bought a farm, decided to do some exporting, didn't really know much about the industry. It's funny how we're actually just exporting some stuff now. But I mean, it's different because I feel that now it's a bit different. I export big time now anyway. So tried a lot of things, anything, digital marketing, everything, e-com. Because the cousins, see, Forex and e-com are cousins. And then you got affiliate marketing. That's a family. It's a half sister. Affiliate marketing is. So I lost all my money and I was broke, bro. It was bad. I had a girlfriend at the time. She literally used to pay for heating. It's cold, bad, bro. It was bad, but I was helping. I said I was not going to go back to Forex. And then one day I'm talking to my mom. My mom was like, why? She couldn't get it. I'm like, Mom, I wasn't proud. Bro, this is a true life story, man. I wasn't proud to be associated with the industry. That's why if you go on my Instagram, there's no way it says on my Instagram that I'm a Forex trader. The only way you know I'm a trader, it says fund manager, but I can be a fund manager trading or doing real estate, right? There's no way on my Instagram the only time you know I'm a trader is if you check my YouTube. That's where you see the charts. And then Twitter, because everybody loves me from Twitter, from YouTube, follow me to Twitter. I'm like, okay, let me give it to them. But I just wanted to just be away from the space because I just felt like, you know, it was. But then my mom was like, yo, listen, Daps, just give it a shot. You can't continue like this. You barely have £300 to your name. What are you doing? Long story short, jump back into the industry. I went back to my old charts, looked at everything, got my strategy back on track, the top-down analysis, put everything together. Luckily for me, I left about maybe, I logged into my trading account from time ago, old MT4, and I saw about 1,200 there. The rest is history, 1,200, and then, yeah.
Went to 150 million.
No, so 1,200, then I started to feel I could live again. Because with my strategy, don't forget, I didn't leave because I didn't know how to trade. I left because of what's going on upstairs. Like, I wasn't happy. Because I understood how to play the game, I took it to 10K in maybe like 6 weeks. It was done. Like, once I was like, okay, let's go. So I did that. Now, I'm trading. I'm doing pretty well for myself. I'm taking care of my family. I'm able to travel. I'm in London. I'm doing all these things. I start working with a couple of brokerage firms. I start to understand what the brokerage world is like behind the scenes. IML tries to recruit me. to be one of their top speakers. Time they got David Moniti and all that guys, because obviously they listened to me speak one day and like, I want this guy, especially because of my race. You can handle sub-Saharan African, blah, 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 blah. You know, go through all of that. You know, I'm back on my stride and all that, blasé, blasé. And then...
So did you go for IML or no?
No. Because I asked a very simple question to IML. I said, from what I can see here, you have built a network marketing company and you're using Forex as the investment vehicle to sell your network marketing company. I'm sorry, I can't be a party to that. Yeah, because I was you want me to go and sell dreams to kids that I was once a kid like that. I'm not going to do that. I'm sorry. That's why I never joined IML. I could have made a lot of money from IML. I'm not going to lie. Maybe cashed out maybe 20 mil, 25 mil. Easy. Easy. Gone on a roadshow, Asia, you know, Africa, Caribbeans, made a lot of money. But like, I'm not going to do it. Now, making some good money trading. Lockdown happens. We go into lockdown. I'm in Nigeria. And this is when I really start posting videos on YouTube. I'm doing all the analysis. Everybody's loving it, blah, blah, blah. I'm back on trading now. I'm okay. I'm cool. I'm just trading for myself. I got a decent amount of money. And then I moved to Dubai. Got money to move to Dubai. It's not going to cost you that much to move to Dubai, get a residency out here. Probably costs about 15,000 US dollars, 20K, just to get settled. 20 bags for a nice place. Depends on where you want to stay. Get a nice car. I mean, you're trading, and a trader of my caliber like this, that was nothing. So I'm just chilling and doing my thing and all that. I'm just putting out videos on YouTube, just educating the world and stuff like that. I've got a couple of I've missed out a very important part. Whilst I was in university and my trading really kicked off and started to rock. Sorry guys, I forgot to add this part. I met a billionaire. He came for a graduation of his niece. I was in Coventry. Met the guy and he invested a significant amount of money. Okay, that was how I was actually able to get my first £250,000. That was, you know what I mean? Like, that was exactly how I was able to make all that money. Because
how much did he invest?
North about $1 million.
Okay.
He did. He invested a lot. The first time I ever been on a private jet. You know, guys, should I tell you how I scored the investor? Simple. I saw the guy. I told my mate, yo, get my comb, get my brush, meet me where the guy is. The guy comes out. I see him, hi. Everybody around him like, oh, I want to take a picture with him. I said to him, excuse me, sir, I want to tell you something. I said, because he's a billionaire, he's got his company listed on different exchanges. I said, yo, listen, I feel like your share price is going to tank because oil prices are going to tank. No, he's like, what? I feel like your share price is going to tank because the exchange in which you're listed on is directly correlated to the price of oil. Guys listening to me. I'm like, yeah, oil price is going to drop. Oil's trading about $85. I said I predict it's going to drop to $28 a barrel. Now I'm telling him two different crazy things because he probably has exposure to different international markets in terms of his loans and stuff like that. Oil prices go down, you know what that means. He's like, come. Come. And I explain everything to him. And so he gives me his assistant's number and power of technical analysis. I've done my oil projection. If you go back to 2015, I have everything on my computer. Send it to him. They fly me out on a jet to come see the guy. How did you know this?
Where was he from?
He's from Nigeria.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So how do you know this?
Is he like a public name?
Yeah, but I can't disclose that.
Okay. What about the company?
I can't disclose that. Can't go there. I can't disclose that. I'm sorry. So it flies me out. And I'm sat there with the guy. Obviously, I'm waiting for 4 hours because these guys, VIPs, are the worst people to try and have a meeting with because they're always doing other things and nothing you can do about it. So long story short, invested about $1 million from there. So that's what was able to help me getting that 250K. You get what I'm saying? Because by the time you trade, do profit sharing, and I had some other smaller investors, friends, dads, and all that kind of stuff. That's how I was left with my 250K that I eventually lost. So that's done. I wanted to add there so that people are wondering, like, how did he make 250K from just 100K? And then I did have a big investor come into the game. Once again, I'm not here to sell dreams, facts. Do you get what I'm saying? If you want to make money in the game, you got to have money. 250K didn't come from thin air. I didn't grow my 250 from $50 or £50. I got a big guy coming to the game. Because when you got big money, you're relaxed. So I keep telling people, you got a lot of money.
So is he the one who got you to 150 million as well?
No. So 150 million is, I'm in Dubai now. I'm chilling. You know, I'm going to the 5. I'm seeing what's happening. You know, I'm chilling, seeing all the boys from London. We're having a nice time. I get a call one day. So this guy I used to work with. I think there's one brokerage firm I used to consult for. I can't remember if it was IG Index. It was one of the brokerage firms in London. So the guy now works for the hedge fund. He works for a hedge fund out in the Middle East. So he reached out to me and he's like, yo, Daps, I've been watching your videos. Well done. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, you actually made this trading thing work for you. I'm proud of you. You're one of the very few guys. I'm like, yo, what are you doing now? He's like, he's working in a finance capacity, but he's not really trading. Like, he'd rather do M&A, mergers and acquisition. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, he'd rather look through the books and acquire companies. So he's like, well, nevertheless, they've got a trading division that isn't doing so well. I'm like, really? He's like, yeah, but I'd like you to speak to my boss. All right, cool, no worries. I'm in Dubai. I'm open for business, right? So he reaches back to me again 5 days later, like, yo, Daps, are you free to speak? I'm like, yeah. So they patched me through on a Zoom call. I'm literally in my home office. At the time, I don't even have a physical office. I'm just in my home office because I'm chilling, bro. Like, you know, you're in Dubai, you realize, like, now I'm doing things a bit differently. Back in Dubai, back at the top, not on the top of my game, but I'm back on my stride, doing things a bit differently. I don't have to pay a fortune to get an office. I can just do my thing. And then trading my own money, not really trading investors' money. I'm doing my own thing. And then I get speak to the guy. And he's like, oh, okay. I've watched your videos. I've actually taken your course. I've watched your course. I like it. I like the way you trade. I like your mentality. I like your approach. Most traders who approach us, they have their equity curves are through the roof. They're talking about 60% in 3 months, 60% a month. We're scared because if you can do 60% in 3 months, you can do negative 60% in 1 month. There goes our money, right? But I like the way you're calm and you're relaxed about everything. So I'm like, all right, cool. What do you want? So he goes, okay, are you open to come out here? For the fund is actually in Doha. So are you ready? Are you willing to come out here for a meeting? I'm like, yeah, sure, let's go. What do I need? Do I need like I've got my Emirates ID? Like, yeah, that should be good. You can come out here. So I'm expecting to see what's it called? I'm expecting to see like a reference number from Qatar Airways, like, you know, my ticket and everything. Bro, Jetex calls me. You know Jetex, right?
No.
The private jet company. They ring me up. It's Mr. Willis. I'm like, yeah, speaking. I'm like, who's this? I'm like, oh, my name is Miriam from Jetex. I represent NetJets in the Middle East. I'm like, all right. And she goes, we got a plane waiting to take you, coming in tomorrow to take you to Doha. I just wanted to confirm your availability and everything, and trying to prep me through how I'm gonna walk through immigration and customs. And I'm like, okay. And literally next day, I stood up. I'm going for a meeting with some for them to be sending out a jet to pick me up. Get there, jump on the jet. So my Instagram right there. If you go on my Instagram, one of the first pictures I'm in. Obviously, I fly private a lot more now, but that was literally my first time back in a private jet in a minute. So jump on the jet, and then I'm there. Get there. The meeting is very brief. So we're talking equity. Do you have any portfolio and stuff like that? I'm like, yeah, I do have. Actually, I've been working on one since lockdown. And you have to understand, during lockdown, the markets were a lot more predictable. The markets were trending. I made a lot of money during lockdown. Obviously, we span into 2021 when I was now in Dubai. So I had my everything. I had everything ready. Like, I'm not kidding the industry. Like, I've been through, for me to have gone into 50K and all that, like, I had everything ready. And I had 2 accounts that I was managing. For myself, I had the aggressive one and I had the, more lenient one. As if I knew, like, I just wanted to have something, I don't know, just had it there. And I showed them my more aggressive fund. I think I've done maybe 42% a year, which I could have done a lot more, but I just was chilling. And they're like, I saw a guy in the meeting, it was 42% a year. That's too much. That's too much. Imagine. That's too much. What sealed the deal was when I showed them my secondary. fund that I was managing for myself, and I done 16.8%.
How much were capital in these accounts?
Maybe one of them had about 600K. One of them had maybe like 3 mil.
And where did that capital come from?
No, I'd gotten back on my stride. Like, I'd spoken to people, gotten capital here and there, returned money back, stuff like that. I'd built, do you get me? Like, I'd built my base back up at maybe 100K, not doing anything in this account, taking money from here from a period of time. Like, now I'm a full finance bro. I know how to pitch, I know how to sell, I know how to speak, I know how to get capital and all that. So all this happened when I came back into the game, 2018. Don't forget 2018, 2019, 2020. So I've got 4 solid years. So you build yourself back up. You speak up to old investors, spoke up to my old billionaire guy. He was willing to part way with some of his change, gave it back to him, built up my base. I didn't really want to answer to anybody. I just wanted to have a significant, so probably had like maybe 3 mil, thereabout.
And was that all yours?
All mine, 3 mil, all mine. So
when did they give you the capital
all right,
to
cool.
get to 150?
So speaking to them, blah, 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 and then they see the 16%, they're like, I like this. Look at the drawdown. The drawdown is maybe, was there any drawdown on the account? Maybe negative swap. Negative, maybe it's commission and swap, but it was intact, if I can remember correctly. And then they're like, okay, cool. They looked at it, and on the spot they offered me 150 million US to manage. So what can you do with 150 million? You have to understand that these funds manage north of 20 billion US dollars. So them giving you 150 mil. So if you do 10% of 20 bill, right? 10% of that, of their capital, is still 2 bill. Them offering me 150 mil is negligible. Not negligible, it's 150 mil, but it's a proper fund. So they got a portfolio and they got high risk. They own airports, they own mines, they own gold, they've got a certain allocation for like high risk, called high risk trading on their portfolio. So like, what can you do 150 mil? I'm gonna hear here first. 150 mil, I was shook. I panicked straight away. I was like, yo, what if I lose this 150 mil? Don't get me wrong, I believe in myself. 150 mil, even your mom can save you. If your mom, your nan's nan, put all the resources together in your village, wherever it is you're from, they can't save you. So I panicked. And that was when I said, okay, what I can do is 10. So we went and spoke back and forth. Guy, like, yo, listen, this is good. I trust you. Like, do you get what I mean? And I said, okay, the only way I'm going to take anything reasonable, which we eventually arrived at the ballpark of 50 million US dollars. The only way I'm going to take anything that big is guys, please listen to this. When you're taking money from investors, you need to have what they call a maximum drawdown clause. On the contract, any contract that I sign, it must state that if I lose your money up to 20%, I'm not liable for it. I'm not going to lose your money up to 20%, but what this does is it is fantastic for your headspace. Because now you're a lot more relaxed. Do you get what I'm saying? You're not afraid to blow the account. And if you've got a maximum drawdown space of about 20%, that means 3% divided by 20, you got 5-6 losing trades buffer. If you lose all 6 trades, there's nothing wrong with your trading. So you've got a worst case scenario, okay, even if my first trade doesn't go right, I still got other chances to try and grow this thing. So put in the maximum drawdown clause there, 50 mil. I'm not licensed to manage funds for like cash. So we have to route it through a bank that has a brokerage arm. And then they obviously gave me access to that. And then we trade it. Last year, I think I did, if I'm not mistaken, give me a sec. Last year was 2022, yeah? So last year, I think we did 115% return on investment. Or slightly more than that. And yeah, so that's exact. So we grew that significantly higher. And then I'd done a bit of other consulting for them on, so I'd predicted that oil prices was going to go from $64 a barrel to 110. You should check my YouTube channel. I said it live on YouTube and I sent the report over to them. So obviously they have a division that handles commodities, and so they traded all that and blah, blah, blah. So long story short, by the time we put everything together, as we speak right now, got 150 million US dollars asset under management. And that's pretty much what Dapo Willis does.
Okay, like it's so fun because I hear the story, and obviously I think we're near the end now anyway, in terms of the podcast. So like, I don't know, like for me listening to it, it's like there's so many question marks, so many like gaps, and like the million, for example, like we came back to a million. Like how do we cross over that? You know, such a large figure, such a huge part of it.
Yeah. So
and like you said in regards to, you know, like when you're a trader and you're making money, people start, you know, the mums and dads are giving you money and stuff. Like, it doesn't sound realistic to me. You know what I mean? Like, it's not something I've heard of, or you know, especially in the UK, if you're trying to take people's capital, you're gonna have to be licensed, you're gonna have to be regulated, you know, and taking money here and profiting there and giving that one back, and then having all of this. It just sounds like it took so long to do as well. I think I asked the question near the beginning of the podcast, and it's gone us to the end. So I'm not here saying like, hey, it's not true or anything like that, but it just sounds extremely like far-fetched, you know? It sounds really out there.
Well, so you said something. How do you manage funds in the UK when you're not licensed? So at the time, brokers had something called a PAM account. So a PAM account, it gives you access to, you have your trading account. So all the trader does is has access to your trading account, but he cannot redraw or do anything of that sort. Do you get what I'm saying? So with a PAM account, and there's also like a legal agreement that states that if anything happens to the funds, you have nothing to worry. Like the trader is covered. So for a long time, bro, you have to understand, this is 2014, 2015. I'm in university. Crazy things are happening. Like you want to trade, you want to invest, sure, let's go. Nobody's really doing any proper documentation. Now it's a different ballgame. Now we're looking at contracts and stuff like that. But then like literally, bro, I'm 21, 22. I'm a kid just trying to, and the money is a lot. I tell you what, people watching this right now, I can guarantee you, because I get a lot of messages on Telegram. Sir, please, the police is after me. The police is after me because I just lost somebody's £150,000. Do you get what I'm saying? Like kids, when they get into the game and then they make a little bit of money, they're talking to like, okay, I can help you trade this. You never had somebody to ask you, I could help you. So it's the same. And people are actually seeing you that you're actually making money. Bro, trust me. You tell people around you that I can make money on money. That money is going to come out. You'll be amazed. The more people will tell you, you look at them, they barely have money to eat. And before you know what's happening, they're calling up people. I've got 20 bags. It happens. The reason why you don't hear a lot of it is because when people lose money in Forex, nobody hears about it. Do you get what I'm saying? So you gave somebody 20K to manage for you. The guy's blown your account. No, you won't talk about it. He won't speak about it. But people are giving people money to trade.
It's quite the opposite though. Like something happened recently with Trader's Domain. Same thing, PAM account. We're talking, I think, millions and millions, and people were talking about it. It was ballooned. Yeah, the money was lost, and everyone's talking about it.
Everyone is talking about it because everybody's got a lot of money in one centralized domain. I'm talking about, if you go in London, ask the average Joe what they think about Forex. They're like, I'm not interested. I feel it's a bit sketchy. You want to know why? Because they probably gave somebody their money to trade for them. When you have a company.
That's what I'm saying. So like you're saying, like no one talks about it, but that's why, because people lose and then they talk about it, and then the narrative is that it's bad and don't do it.
Fine, but people talk about it, but not as many people should be speaking about it, is actually speaking about it, because a lot more people have actually lost money from trading by giving people money.
So like even like the 150% return on 15 million, for example. Yeah. It's like, that's where, like a fund, for example, they, as you said as well, like they saw your return on the aggressive account and they said, oh, that's, it's too high. Right. So then 150% on 15 million.
115%.
150, did you say? 115?
115%.
Still even 115%. Like, it just sounds unrealistic. It doesn't sound like the common practice inside the hedge fund space and professional space.
I get that, and that's absolutely fine. Like I'm not the average hedge fund trader. And this is exactly why I launched the YouTube channel. It's for questions like this. Because for every trade that I've placed, it's all documented live. And I say, this is exactly what I'm going to do. And this is exactly what I'm going to pull out. And if this doesn't happen, I'm not going to trade. I've got 45 trading episodes on YouTube to back everything I'm saying up. When I lose money, everybody knows that. You know what's funny thing? When I do lose, oh my God, the whole world comes for me, because when I speak about trading, I'm very, very, because I come for the influencers, I come for people selling dreams, and then when they see that I'm in a losing trade, everybody wants to jump on me. Do you get what I mean?
When you trade, are you using MetaTrader?
No, there's a specialized platform that the bank will create for you. You could trade through that.
Okay, and then in regards to, do you have a course still, an academy now?
Yeah, we have a course, but I don't want to speak about it because I'm not trying to peddle dreams. I want to talk about the real trading.
Of course, but like, why do you need a course if you're managing that amount of capital? I understand if someone's managing maybe a couple million or 100,000, if you're managing 150 million, what's the point, like, in terms of having a course or an academy? Yeah,
because you have to understand, when I moved to Canary Wharf, we did create an academy. And I feel like my approach is one of the best approaches out there. For a very long time, the products were free. Like, the products were free everywhere. Like, my teachings everything were free. And somebody on my team said to me, like, this is nuts. Everybody out there has a price tag to their trading academy. Why does ours have to be different? And dude, like, I'm a businessman at the end of the day. He's like, this is exactly how much money we can make from this. So you think I know I want to save the Forex industry, but I'm not stupid. Put a price to it. And I also noticed that when people started to pay, they started to take what I was saying about a lot more seriously. Because I tell you stuff like, analyze on the monthly, do this and do that, and you can make 2,000 pips. You think it's unrealistic until you pay, and then you listen to it. Now you're taking it a lot more seriously. So, like, you know what, let's put a price tag to it. Sure, let's go for it. If everybody else is doing it, why can't we do it? But we made it very affordable, made it for $99. Like, bro, how much is $99 going to change my life? Not that much. But people are going to have to pay for it. If they, like, I believe if you pay for it, you're going to take it seriously. So go for it. But I'm not here to talk about the course. I'm not. If I would have come in here with the logo of the academy on my shirt. I just came in here looking really simple because I just want to talk about my story.
Of course, no. I appreciate you told your story, and like I said, like, I'm not here to say what's real, what's not, or anything like that. It's just, like I said, in terms of, that's probably the only story I've heard in the industry of going from literally like zero or blowing account and managing capital in this manner and getting to 150 million, you know?
Yeah, I mean, I didn't make 150 million.
No, but as in managing 150 million,
yeah,
you know? Like,
to manage 150 million is all about them looking at your track record, and they're like, okay, if you want to, I'll tell you how the back end works, right? They give you access to the trading accounts. You can't redraw the money. You can only place trades, right? There's also like a circuit breaker. You cannot, if you trade above a certain margin level, like, you can't place the trades. So there are all these things in place. Like, nobody's going to give you 150 million US dollars and put in your trading account. No. They're wasted. And the contract, everything states that. Do you get where I'm coming from? So it's a very, very airtight kind of like transaction going on. Like, you can't do this, you can't do this. So for me, and this is why I didn't, when they offered us the money in like end of November, December, I didn't touch anything until end of January the next year, because I needed the market. I needed my first few trades to bank. So I needed the market to start trading again before I got into the game, before I started trading again. You know, so all these, you know, you have to put up, and bro, like, I've blown investors' accounts before whilst I was a student. You know what saved me? There was a particular investor that obviously I was managing accounts for. What saved me was I didn't sign the contract. They were too eager, because I think Pam also have a place where you sign up. They were too eager, like, we see you, we want to make money. Bro, when people see that you're making money from trading, they will pressure you to give you their money. Watching this, you can doubt me and all that, but if you're a trader or you're a student, you know what I mean. People will pressure, oh, okay, take, all right, cool, and this and that. What saved me was the fact that I did not sign the contract. So all these experiences, you've blown in accounts, God has literally saved you by not signing. After some time, you put everything together, you consolidate, and you're like, now I know how to do things a bit more differently. Do you get what I'm saying? And I'm not afraid to take on a $50 million challenge. I'm like, let's go for it.
Okay, so like I said, we've come to the end of the time. I wish we had more time.
Yeah,
We
sure,
could
no
discuss
worries.
more, but I'll do my research. I'll look
Yeah,
into
good.
what you said, and hopefully everyone does their research as well. But I appreciate you coming down,
Yeah, no worries.
and hopefully maybe we'll do it again. Maybe after doing the research, I'll
I
be
got,
back
I
and we
got,
can ask some more
forget about
questions.
I got one thing just before I have to leave, if that's fine. So if you're watching this and you're obviously in your trading journey and you see everything that's going on social media, like he said, please ensure to do your research, because a lot of people are getting sold the pipe dream and stuff like that. Put your head down and get the education done properly, because a lot of the stuff that you see on the internet is all screenshots and edited. Now people have access to back ends to MT4. People are faking withdrawals and stuff. If we're really going to do the research that's going to help people, look into the influences that are out there in the industry right now. Before you buy any course, don't buy my course. But before you go out there to do anything, please do your research. Don't be fooled by the cars. Forget about my 150 mil. Do your research and understand that trading is a game where you grow your capital and not flip your account. So we need to end on that note.
No problem. Well, thank you everyone for tuning in. Make sure you let us know what your thoughts are in the comments below. Thank you for tuning in, and catch you on the next one.